The other thing, and I think this is something that relates to Dick's a little bit and to Ivan's as well, that rewriting of the zoning code that I mentioned, I think, well, I know it made a great change in the process of zoning changes. And that was, and it was severe debate and real concern. A number of people on the council I served with, everybody from Ken, who had served on the planning, we had been on the planning commission together, and Ed Daniels and others, had a lot of experience with the planning commission, and Dick did too, of course, in his time. And the idea of taking away from council most of the zoning issues was a big change, because appellants, people that didn't get what they wanted, could generally speaking, appeal to council on almost anything. And a number of things required council's approval. And we had a real discussion among council about that change. But I think what it did, some of the things still have to come in front of council, that's not the issue. But what it did was freed a lot of council's time, because a lot of council's time was involved in these appeals. And it let us do things that have the time to do things we always should have been doing. Now, it was Cheryl and others that let us do budgeting and things like that, but things that we ideally should have done and wanted to do. But often, we've talked about some of the controversy, you were caught up in controversies, a lot of which were zoning. But the other thing that changed was that our relationship with the business community got markedly better. And you can argue what the reason for that was. But Ohio National, again, I know it was a big zoning fight, but became at least a pretty strong adherent and supporter of the city, and became a very good, as you mentioned, a very good project. Because the initial project was a hotel, if I remember, that they wanted to build there, which would have been a very different type of corporate citizen. So it really worked out well. Of course, it didn't have to. And then the other things, the car dealerships and all the rest, at least reached a consensus of most of those projects, those big projects. There are still issues, but not nearly so many. So I think it freed council to do a lot of good things, okay? Which I think they did and have continued to do.